Ichigo, you sly son of a bitch! You've done it again! After hundreds of chapters, an entire anime series, and countless movies, you have finally decided to turn Ishida into Sasuke 2.0. What the hell? This is the one thing that I did not want to happen, and I say that with a lot of humor, guys. I'm really not saying that Ishida is the next Sasuke. It's pretty obvious that Ishida has a big plan here to try and trick the Quincy leader, and he's just being forced to fight against Ichigo. However, this is something that I've been dreading ever since I saw the very beginning of Bleach years ago. When I first started watching the series, I was really enamored by it. I loved the concept. It reminded me a little bit of Yu Yu Hakusho. But the instant they introduced Uryu Ishida, my first thought was, holy crap, I really hope they don't turn this guy into the next Sasuke. And it didn't help, too, because in the anime version, he's actually voiced by Sasuke's voice actor, and that just made it all the more distracting. And after years of waiting, it finally happens. And, you know, I should have seen this coming. There was a lot of build-up to this scene, especially because over the course of the last month, Ishida's going through this crazy plan where he's trying to get revenge for his mother against the Quincy leader. But now the Quincy leader is literally forcing him to fight against Ichigo in this week's chapter, which also happened to be very bare bones. Like, two things happened this week. There was the Quincy fighting against Ichigo's friend, if you even want to call it a fight. It's basically just them charging at each other and the Quincy activating their Volstandigs. And then there's Ichigo discovering the Quincy leader, and then Ishida attacking him and telling him not to follow him. That's the entire chapter. Most of the chapter is getting to see Ichigo run through the city and a lot of big panels, and him being completely shocked by Ishida. And Ishida does have some cool moves this week, where he fires this one massive arrow down on top of Ichigo, and then another flurry of arrows comes down, which Ichigo just bats away with no problem. And he's mostly just confused as to what Ishida is doing. And I'm still holding firm that this is all part of his plan. He's got some sort of, like, secret, you know, motive here. But I don't know how the Quincy leader is able to string him along so easily and to do this. And I just, you know, I really didn't want to see Ishida and Ichigo's relationship devolve into that whole, like, Naruto, Sasuke, Vegeta, Goku thing. I like that they're rivals, and I like that they sort of, like, bitch at each other when they're fighting, but I necessarily never wanted to see them fight each other. I mean, it would be cool to see them both go, like, completely all out and go crazy with their abilities, especially now because Ichigo's also, like, part Quincy as well, so it's like just a perfect match, and it would be really cool. But at the same time, I don't want to see that. I still just really want to see the Shinigami fighting against the Quincy, and I'm still wondering if Grimmjow's actually going to pop up. So let me just talk about some of the other aspects of this chapter. Like I said, it's pretty much just two things. The chapter opened up with the Quincy activating their Volstandigs. In fact, the other Shinigami are actually attacking, and Ikkaku's the first one who jumps down and, like, slams into the ground and starts destroying things. Bazby starts to attack with his Burning Finger, but then Rukia freezes it over, and then they just start charging each other. It's really, really cool, and it's a little one-sided over the fact that there are more Quincy, but we got a lot of Zero Division trained guys here, and they're probably just going to tear that ass up. Ichigo this week, running through the city, finding Ishida, getting arrows fired on his ass. That's pretty much it. So what's the rundown on this week's chapter of Bleach? It was okay. If there's one thing that needs to be said, even though not that much happened this week, this chapter will have massive repercussions on the rest of this arc. It's really just sort of like setting up what's going to be happening later. And like I said, I should have seen this coming. They've been building up this whole Ishida thing for a while, but I just didn't really want to accept it at all. You know, I still think they're eventually going to team up with each other, and it's all going to work out in the end. However, who knows? I have no idea where this series is going to go sometimes, but a lot of times it can be kind of predictable, but this is one of those instances where I did not want this to happen. Damn it! If there is one positive this week, it's that all of the city and everything looked cool. A lot of the big panels were very detailed. The character artwork looked really awesome, as typically it does in Bleach. That's one thing Kubo is definitely very good at, is drawing some really awesome looking characters. The stuff with Ishida at the end firing all the arrows was pretty awesome. I'm really interested to see what some of his new abilities are going to be. Perhaps he's been training with some of his fellow Quincy and he's learned some brand new abilities, which I think would be pretty cool to go up against Ichigo and all of his multitude of multi-universe Bleach abilities, because, you know, he's got, like, everything. But otherwise, this was just sort of a meh chapter. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Not the greatest in the world. However, if you are following the series, I still recommend checking this one out, as it is going to move the story along a little bit more, and it's also going to, you know, get you excited for what's going to be happening later on with Ishida, or maybe you'll be disappointed. I'm not quite sure. But like I said, 7 out of 10 from me. Okay chapter. Check it out, Bleach fans. If you guys checked out this week's chapter of Bleach, I would love to hear your thoughts about it. You can tell me with your comments below. What are you looking forward to seeing in the battles between the Quincy and the Shinigami? Who do you want to see fight who? And also, what's the deal with Ishida anyway? Is this all part of his, like, big special plan? Or is he literally deciding to follow the Quincy leader? You can let me know with your comments below. Remember, guys, before you leave, hit that like button so you can give this video a thumbs up. It's super easy to do, but the best way to help out our videos is to simply watch them and subscribe to our channel. I'll make it real easy for you guys. You can click the button that's right up top. I'm even going to wait for you. It's real easy. It's right there. Okay, you can also check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. I'll put links to those in the description box below. You can also donate directly to the channel if you would like. It is completely optional. So guys, that concludes this review of Bleach. I will see you next time. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.